What is your name?
Richard Phelps.
And Richard, where were you born and what year?
I was born in San Francisco in 1945.
And what brought you out to Sausalito?
My grandparents bought a house here. Then I moved over here with my grandparents and parents. That was in 1950.
And what brought them to Sausalito?
My dad's father was the state insurance commissioner, but he lived here and worked in San Francisco. And my dad was actually born here in Sausalito, up off of Bulkley. So they've lived here all their lives. My grandfather, he was in the 7th Cavalry with Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders. He retired from the Army, got a job with Clinton Duffy. He was a warden over at San Quentin, and my grandfather was assistant warden. And they lived on the property. My mom and my aunts all went to school there. They moved over here. My grandfather bought the property from the Nunes brothers, who had a boat building business down there across the street from where Sally Stanford had her place. They had it's the Nunes brothers boat building. And then across the street, there's Madden and Lewis boat building. They used to launch their boats right there. The Nunes brothers built a class of sailboat called the Bear boat, and they're still out there sailing.
So, what do you love most about living here?
Well, I love the weather. I love the location. I love the view. When I was a child, everybody in the neighborhood in Hurricane Gulch or Old Town used to play up in those hills and chase rabbits and all that, and just hike around. And they were just dirt roads. Well, they call them beatniks, but they're mostly artists. And they were in San Francisco, and they came over to Sausalito, and they just liked painting seascapes and landscapes and all. So then they opened up coffee shops, and then on the Sundays they read poetry, and they had the bongos going, and that's what drew some of the tourists over, because they liked to look at their artwork. Then there was a transition from the beatniks to the hippies, but that happened when I was in Vietnam. I was in the war, and I was there for 2 years. When I came back, yeah, really had changed.
Do you have a favorite memory of all of your time living here?
My friends that I grew up with, there's probably a handful of kids I grew up with that are now in their 80s. They're still here. One of the Nunes brothers was putting a chandelier in the dining area, and he had a heart attack and died. His widow didn't want to live here with that kind of memory. Neither did his brother. So my grandfather purchased his house.
So, what are your hopes for the future of Sausalito?
That they just cater more to the residents and less to the tourists.
What does a good day look like for you?
Every day, no matter if it's windy, foggy. When I was flying back from Vietnam, I looked up out the window and saw the fog bank. So I knew I was getting close. We landed at Travis Air Force Base, and I knew I was home. I just relaxed so much. Well, my dad, when he was growing up here, he was born here, but as a kid, to make 25 cents an hour, he was hired by Machine Gun Kelly. They rowed the boats from where the main ship was underneath the Valhalla and unloaded all the illegal alcohol during the Prohibition.
How old was your dad when he was helping
He
him?
was probably around 12, 13.
Oh,